In the richest country on Earth, you wouldn't expect to see what looks like a refugee camp just a few blocks away from a high-end shopping mall. You wouldn't expect to find thousands of people sleeping in makeshift tents right outside billion-dollar tech company headquarters. But this is the reality of modern America. While the nation boasts of economic growth, booming stock markets, and innovation, there's a different America growing just beneath the surface, an America where sidewalks have turned into living rooms, where parks have become neighborhoods, and where highways are lined with people trying to survive under tarps and nylon. This is the world of America's homeless, and their shelters, tents. Thousands of people across the United States now call these fabric walls their only protection from the rain, the heat, the cold, and the violence. They are not tourists. They are not protesters. They are our neighbors, our former classmates, our veterans, our disabled, our workers, people society has decided to leave behind. We don't see them in tourist brochures or political speeches, but they are there, everywhere, and their numbers are growing. When most of us think of a tent, we think of camping, maybe a trip to the mountains or the woods, a night under the stars. But for the homeless, a tent is not a weekend getaway. It's a lifeline. A tent is a substitute for rent. It's the answer when a paycheck runs out, when eviction hits, when there are no friends left to take you in. A tent becomes a home when there are no homes left you can afford. It doesn't provide much. There's no electricity, no bathroom, no safety lock, no heating. But it gives something crucial: space. Even the tiniest bit of personal space becomes sacred when you've lost everything else. That space might be under a highway overpass. It might be behind a grocery store. It might be next to a gas station or along a railroad track. Wherever it is, it becomes a person's world. Their closet, their kitchen, their bed, and sometimes their coffin. We like to think that homelessness happens to other people. People who made bad choices, people who gave up. But it doesn't take much to end up in a tent. In today's America, just one thing going wrong can start the spiral. Lose your job? You could fall behind on rent, get sick. Medical bills and lost wages might drain everything you have. A bad divorce? You might lose your home and end up with nothing. And when you fall behind on rent or a mortgage, you don't have much time. Evictions come fast. Landlords don't wait. Banks don't forgive. If you don't have family to help, or if your family is struggling too, there's nowhere left to go. So people sleep in their car for a while, until the car gets towed or breaks down. Then it's the streets, then it's a tent, and then you learn how harsh life can become. Walk through Los Angeles and you'll find Skid Row, a place where tents stretch across blocks like a third-world camp in the heart of a global city. Go to San Francisco, and you'll see tents nestled in alleys, along freeways, even near luxury condominiums. Seattle, Portland, Austin, Denver, Philadelphia, New York, Phoenix, Las Vegas. It's not just a big city issue. Even smaller towns are seeing the rise of tent encampments because poverty and housing problems have no borders. These tent cities aren't planned, they aren't safe, but they become communities. People share food, watch over each other's things, try to keep clean, try to stay warm. They survive together, but they also suffer together. There's no trash pickup, no bathrooms, no water fountains, no health care, no police protection, except when officers show up to break it all apart. Living in a tent means living exposed. Rain turns everything to mud. Snow freezes the thin walls. Heat becomes unbearable inside plastic and tarps. Rodents and insects are common. Diseases spread fast when there's no sanitation. People go weeks without showers, months without clean clothes. There's no food storage, no refrigeration, so people eat what they can find or what they're given. Some cook using portable stoves, others warm up canned goods over candles, many just go hungry. Worse, everything can be taken from you at any time. If the city decides to do a cleanup, your tent, your clothes, your ID, your documents can all be thrown away like trash. Try getting a job or accessing services without ID. Try recovering from surgery while sleeping on concrete. Try managing diabetes or PTSD when your food is spoiled and your meds are stolen. This is daily life for thousands of Americans. Once, people thought homelessness only affected drug addicts or mentally ill people. But the reality today is different. Families are now living in tents, mothers with young children, senior citizens on Social Security, disabled veterans, full-time workers. Many of the people in tents are employed, but they don't earn enough to afford rent. Minimum wage doesn't pay the bills in most cities. Even working 40 hours a week, you still can't afford a one-bedroom apartment in many parts of the country. Add in rising food prices, gas prices, medical costs, and student debt, and you've got a recipe for disaster. The face of homelessness is no longer who we imagined. It's becoming someone you know, a coworker, a neighbor. It could be you. There are shelters, but most are overrun. The wait lists are endless. Some have rules that turn people away. No pets, no couples, no late arrivals. Others don't allow people who are struggling with addiction or mental health issues, which is a large part of the population. Many people feel safer in a tent than in a shelter where they could be assaulted, robbed, or separated from their loved ones. Healthcare is inaccessible. Therapy is expensive. Housing vouchers are limited. Meanwhile, developers build luxury condos, cities raise rents, evictions rise, and the poor get pushed out. People fall through the cracks because the system was never designed to catch them. Yes, drugs are a problem. Yes, many homeless people suffer from mental illness. But which came first? Living on the streets, especially in a tent, doesn't cause peace of mind. It causes trauma, constant stress, sleep deprivation, violence, hopelessness. Some people turn to substances just to get through the day. Others already had issues that only got worse when they lost everything. Without treatment, support, or housing, these problems don't go away. They multiply. But blaming drugs or mental health alone ignores the root cause: poverty and a lack of affordable housing. It's not addiction that causes homelessness. It's the homelessness that makes addiction harder to fight. Leaving people in tents doesn't just hurt them, it hurts society. Cities spend millions cleaning up encampments, arresting homeless people, paying for emergency medical services, dealing with outbreaks of disease, and responding to crime. The cost of ignoring homelessness is far greater than the cost of solving it. It drains our hospitals, fills our jails, strains our communities. And what do we gain? Nothing but more misery, more tents, more suffering. Solving the crisis isn't charity, it's common sense. Some places have tried solutions, and they work. Housing First is a model that gives people housing without requiring them to fix themselves first. Once people have a stable roof over their heads, they're more likely to recover, get jobs, and rejoin society. Tiny home villages have helped people transition from tents to stability. Permanent supportive housing, combined with mental health care and addiction treatment, has changed lives. The data is clear. When you invest in people, they rise. But politics, bureaucracy, and profit motives get in the way. Developers don't want low-income housing. NIMBY. Not in my backyard, activists oppose shelters. Politicians look for short-term wins instead of long-term solutions. And so the tents remain. And they multiply. It should never be normal to walk past a tent and feel nothing. It should never be acceptable to see a child sleeping on cardboard and keep walking. We cannot build a successful society while ignoring the suffering at its foundation. Every tent is a warning sign, a symptom of a deeper disease. This isn't just a housing crisis, it's a moral crisis. What kind of nation do we want to be? One that turns away from the poor, or one that chooses to lift them up? America is not short on money, it's not short on land, it's not short on ideas. What we're short on is the will to act. We know what causes homelessness. We know how to end it. But we must choose to stop ignoring it. We must stop pretending the tents don't exist. We must stop criminalizing poverty and start building systems of care. Because a tent is not a home. and no one in America should be forced to live in one.